Hello everyone, Darren here. And on today's episode of WotC Academy, we are going to look at another map. This map is going to be Sand River, and again, this is a map that's been in the game for a very, very long time. So I'm sure many of you have already established your strategies and your plays for when you play this map on whatever tank you're on. But for those new players starting out, this is a map that is not the most symmetrical in terms of design, but it is a very easy map to understand and develop strategies and ideas of where you need to go when you're in a specific tank. Um, I'm joined here with a longtime friend and an assistant on my channel, Zoran, who helps crunch numbers on certain things, and he's going to help me out with the guide. As usual, here with these map revamps, we're just going to pretty much go through the general strategy of how this map is supposed to be played, with a little bit of influence from the current meta at the time of recording this, and of course, we're just going to start on whatever side I spawn on first, and then for the other half of the video, we're going to move on to the opposite spawn. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so starting here on the eastern spawn, artillery kind of just tends to hover here from in the pit of E0, or just kind of skirt here along the 0 line, not going any farther north than the E0 pit. We're going to start with, we're going to go north, and then we'll just make our way, obviously, south. So, many ways that you can go here. This is going to be one of the more strong points of contention. Really, all three flanks tend to be a point of contention, so there are 3 different lanes that you can go to, and you will more than likely fight someone. So, quick thing, light tank plays tend to be kind of what you just saw me do, although they'll ride this ridge line here a lot more. They'll get some spots of anyone right there in the middle, maybe some tanks trying to cross to get into the trench, anyone trying to come over here. Pretty much as far as their view range can reach, they will try and get some spotting. This is a major fighting point right here. You will almost always see tanks here in this little bowl pit sand dune area, pretty much trying to fight anything from that direction all the way to that direction. So pretty much a full 180 degrees from this position. Oftentimes, more than likely, you'll be fighting tanks from where Zoran is, trying to get cross shots of anyone trying to make it up this hill, which leads to another point of contention, which is this rocky area up here. We're going to quickly make our way up this way. Now, I don't fight that much here in the rocky area because I have seen that this northern area does tend to get arty attention. A decent amount. All 3 flanks also tend to get arty attention, so keep that in mind, that there is no flank that is 100% arty safe. So you'll also see a lot of fighting right where Zoran is. Sometimes you'll see tanks here hull down, trying to shoot across. Other times you'll just see tanks, heavy tanks, medium tanks, tanks with gun depression pushing up to this hill here and then fighting pretty much right here on this corner. Be wary if you are going to fight on this corner that way back over there is where TDs like to hide, and they will shoot you from here if you, poke yourself out and overextend. This is also a major flanking spot for the western spawn team to come around and get shots on anyone fighting over there. So you need to be very wary and have a good 360 awareness of what's going on if you're fighting up here in the northern section of the map. Now we're going to pretend that the team that has gone up there to fight where we just were has won, and you've pushed the enemy team back from the bowl area. So now at this point you're just going to simply fight amongst these dunes. So you have pretty much 2 safety roads that you can take. You can take the side that I'm on now, which tends to be the tanks that come from down this hill. They'll take that route. And of course, if you come from the dunes, you can simply just go straight and head down this route. You got dunes protecting you from getting shot on the side, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose. So you can go in here in these dunes, get some nice good shots on anyone that's still trying to snipe anyone over there, push through, get rid of the TDs, and pretty much at this point you have two options ahead of you. You can take Zoran's route and hunt down the arty that's over there in this trench here. Any last minute tanks trying to pull a last stand. Oh my goodness, I've just killed Zoran, and now I'm just going to push towards the enemy base. So I can do that, I can push through, and there we go. I'm now fighting the defenders. If you're here unopposed, you can easily push up to this like little sand dune or cap, whichever one. But you are in a position where people may come back to defend, and you may be stuck over there on that little ridge. But yeah, that's pretty much that spot. It's very brawling. You'll see a lot of tanks go that way, or at least a third of your team. Really quickly covering the middle flank. The middle flank is kind of like a one-stop shop. There's not a whole lot of strategy to it. It's literally a trench. So that makes explaining it very, very easy. And the idea for the trench is the same for both the eastern and western spawns. So, oh goodness, I have spawned over there by my base. I'm now going to make a beeline for the trench. TDs, heavy tanks, light tanks, medium tanks. You can all come this way. I've pretty much seen it all. I come this way regardless of what I am, unless I'm in a sniping TD. Light tanks, medium tanks tend to come up this ramp, or any tank really with gun depression will come up this ramp, go to where, Zoran is for some excellent cross spotting and cross shots. You can rack up a lot of spot assists from here if you have artillery that happens to already be loaded, or tanks just as fast as you, already in position to get some supporting shots, and you have this wide open spot for you to get some good shots. Although you are also open to getting shot by everything over there, as well as anything over there if you poke out this far. So yes, and of course you will have opposition from the enemy team coming up their side to oppose you as well and try and push you off. So yes, it is also a very double-edged sword up here on this ridgeline, up on this hill part of the trench. Heavy tanks, brawling TDs, things that basically can brawl, they're going to stay in the trench. The trench is also not RD safe. You can be hit from here. There are positions that allow RD to hit you from here. But yeah, you'll tend to see brawling fighting pretty much right here. And of course, once you win the trench, it's easy. You just go straight. You just go straight. You can get some shots from over here. If their side has taken this rocky mountain, you can get some supporting shots here. Or if the enemy team is still up there in the sand dunes, you can pretty much kind of just ride, the varying slopes here and just start shooting them as they expose themselves to the ridge. Or, of course, you can simply push onto their base, hunt down artillery, and cap the base if that's something you like to do. And yeah, there you go. That's the middle. Short, sweet, to the point. From the eastern side, let's cover the last point of contention, which is still a point of contention. But again, all 3 points are kind of like evenly distributed in their importance. You'll pretty much see, for the most part, 90% of the time, a third of your team going to each point of contention. Obviously varying a little bit of the number of tanks for each flank, but you get the idea. Real quick while I'm still here covering it, TDs, some sniping TDs like to hide pretty much right there by base. You have a good vantage point to react to all 3 of the flanks. So here, this flank here, this is a little bit kind of, from this side, tends to be played defensively. You can play this offensively, it just requires speed. So, what you can do if you've got the speed for it is pretty much take the route I'm on now. If you want to push up as far as you can but still play defensively, this would be the point where you want to go. Just be advised that you are open to getting shot by their team up there on that hill that we're just at in the middle. If you've got more speed and you got more numbers, just simply push over the sand dune and push up here. Chances of you actually getting here are going to be a little bit harder, seeing as you are actually much closer to their base from this point, and they will probably get here before you do. But again, if you got the speed and you got the numbers, I mean, just I don't see anything being any more intimidating than poking over this ridge and then seeing like 3 speedy boys with potentially a lot of damage coming right at you. Maybe more. But yeah, once you fight over here, make sure you stay behind these dunes, though. You definitely want to make sure you stay behind these dunes to avoid getting sniped from anywhere across the map. This is definitely a gun depression type of zone due to the dunes, but as you can see, tanks without gun depression can obviously just simply go around to the edge of the dune and, you know, then shoot. But yeah, if Zoran could actually go back up there and just kind of push up over the lip of the dune, I will briefly explain why it's very important that you stay behind the dunes. So, Zoran is an enemy tank. He's unaware that I'm over here. He's just going to push over the ridge of the dune. And as you can see, to do that, he has to completely profile himself over this ridge in order to get a shot on me. We're just going to assume that I'm, you know, down. So, you know, I'm hiding over here. Zoran's going to come up from this point. From right over here. Zoran can just come up over here. That worked. This is why it's important. As you can see, to get a shot on me, he has to literally profile himself on this ridge to get a shot on me. And that is the same. It works both ways, from me cresting the ridge to get a shot on anyone on his side, and the same thing for anyone on his side trying to get shots on my teammates. So you do not want to profile yourself and sit on top of this ridge. You are a very, very easy target. At this point, once you win this side, I would not rush, depending on how many tanks are left alive on the enemy team. I would not rush to do anything, for as you can see, you have to cross open terrain to get to their base, or get to the closest decent amount of cover. So just simply sit here, play a little bit of the peek-a-boom game on the ridge line, and definitely take care of the tanks that are, you know, defending this point before you make any mad push to their base. Conserve your hit points, take your time. Now, again, that's pretty much it from the eastern side of this map. It's, again, all 3 points of contention that I've covered are points of contention there. Really, all 3 of them cannot be, or really, you can't afford to leave even one of them vacant or open to a flank, because all of them have a very nice, easy, straight path to your base. And with these long sight lines, it's kind of important to make sure that you have every aspect covered, because you can get shot from at least one other flank from any other flank that you're on. But that does it for this one. I'll see you in the western spawn. Alrighty, so from this spawn, really, you'll see Artie pretty much from A1 to E1. They'll be somewhere around here. If they're up here in A1, chances are they're going to be in the little ditch area right there. But of course, anywhere along this point right here will give them the ability to shoot almost anywhere on the map. Instead of going right, we're going to go left this time and go to the same, start at the same flank that I started with on the eastern spawn. So, quickest route, obviously, way to do this, just go this way. Most tanks, mediums, heavies, TDs, whatever is coming this way is going to take this route here, and what they're going to do is just this exact route that I'm taking right here. This is 95% of the time going to be the route that you're going to take from this side to go and assault here. At this point, you'll have tanks in contact right here. If you're fast, you can cross without taking a whole lot of damage. But this is pretty much what you will see almost everyone do if they've got the speed, is they'll come up here. You'll never see anyone actually try and fight on that hill where Zoran is, unless they come from a slightly different route, or they actually have the middle and have people that are able to defend them. So the light tank play for this is that instead of taking the route that I did, we would have gone straight right into that middle path right there, and we would have come up to this sand dune here, and we would have done exactly like I would have done on the other side, and we're just going to ride the ridge, and we would proxy spot anything that's over here, although we would not be going too far like I just did, because there'd be TVs over here. We would probably stop like right here and then flip around and do another loop. Now, if you do have tanks that are able to get from the middle section over here and they're able to show up unopposed to this sand dune, yeah, you will see tanks over here on this corner fighting. You would definitely see that. So yeah, you want to make sure that you at least have someone rolling up this dune, again, for both spawns, to occasionally proxy spot, so that way you don't have anyone sneaking over the lip or sneaking up on you. Because it would not be very good if you're over here and, you know, all of a sudden you think you're clear, then you have a tank there. So yeah. Now, we're going to go back to where I was first, because that's, again, 95% of the time where everyone is going to be. You will see some heavy tanks or TDs that were not fast enough to make it, trying to fight amongst these dunes, but a lot of times they're just easy arty fodder, because there's no hard cover for them to hide behind, where you have a much better chance of surviving if you're over up here. So, you know, we're fighting, we're on the ridge here, we've taken care of the tanks that are over there, we've pushed off the tanks that were fighting us up here, and they've fled. You now have 3 options really to choose from here. You can still sit here on this hill and try and fight and push off whatever's over there trying to shoot you, or you can just zerg down the hill as fast as you can and then push up down this road to fight them, or you can take the other 2 options, and that's push down this path or go up the hill and push around. So we're going to we're just going to go up here for the sake of just easiness here. So we're going to take this route. We're just going to simply choose this route here. Oh my god, there's some tanks still left alive there. Oh goodness, I've killed them now. Then we just push up. You got some hard cover here to protect you from getting flanked as you come down. You can easily, if you got the gun depression, go up that little path and shoot whatever's still over here. Or you can just, you know, hide amongst some of these like dunes and take care of whatever. But the chances are is if you've won over there in that road, you'll probably find a lot of the enemy tanks that came to this bowl are going to fall back to a slightly more defensible position, because by that point they're now going to have tanks coming at them from not only in front of them but from their flanks, and anyone with common sense is going to be like, that's not good odds for me, and they'll fall back. So you may only have 1 or 2 stragglers that were tunnel visioned, unaware that you're, you know, on their flank. Once that happens, you've taken care of the tanks on this flank. Super easy. Just go to where Zoran is. This happens to be one of those like last stand fallback points that you may see. Just come here, take care of the tanks that are in this trench. Artie may be over here. Take care of that, and just simply push up. Just again, be wary, of course, that TDs may be along this rocky cliff thing right here by their spawn, and you are open to getting shot by, you know, regardless of these 3 paths here that I'm open. So there's that path, there's that path. Then, of course, then there's the middle there. So you got to be wary that they may be able to shoot you from here. So yeah, that's pretty much the play from the western side on the northern flank. We're going to go and do the middle, which it's self-explanatory again, really, but it's the same idea, same concept. Alrighty, so we've spawned over there. You know, okay. Running, we're in a light tank. We're going, and we're going to do the same thing that I did previously. Same flanks. All the tanks really work here. Brawling TDs, heavy tanks, medium tanks, light tanks. Not sniping TDs already though. You can pretty much come here in the middle, and you will be able to do something. You know, again, come up this hill, get some cross spots on anyone trying to push up to the southern flank. Or, you know, push up farther and try and get some flanking shots on heavy tanks or anything else that are pushed over here. Try and apply pressure to them to push them down the slope. Of course, you're still open to being shot by anything over here. Hey, look, there's Zoran trying to cross. And, you know, I'm still profiled and in the open here. So, yeah, I could easily get shot. But, of course, he can easily be shot. And this specific point here on the hill is very good for getting spot assist. So just keep that in mind. You can also get some cross shots from over here. And you can also get shot from them over here. Same thing with the heavy tanks. Or anything brawling. Tend to stick in the trench. Fight here. They can be shot by anything hiding over there. You're less likely to have that happen if you were, say, from the eastern side from that one, because, yeah, you tend to spot anything hiding over there. But over here, once you come around this rock right here, you may just get shot immediately by something hiding over there. So once you win this flank, you win that area, you may get something sniped from over there. A lot harder to actually detect them from there. So the eastern side actually has a slight advantage when it comes to sniping points to defend this flank when it's lost. They have a lot more spots open to them to do that. So do keep that in mind, as it's very open here. So instead of going that direction and opening yourself up, just getting shot by snipers everywhere, simply take this way. Just take this route. You eliminate one of the flanks for getting sniped, and you can push up to this rock wall, and you have two different paths you can fight from, while still only having to deal with the TDs from over there, which by pushing up over here, you have now limited your exposure to them, and for them to actually shoot you, they have to profile themselves on that ridge in order to actually shoot down on you. And I'm, at the time of me saying this, I'm kind of thinking like the Jaegeroos or Grill 15s, things like that, you know, have gun depression, but not a whole lot, but are big enough that they actually have to profile themselves. And I believe Zoran is actually doing that right now. So as you can see, I've pushed up to this. To actually get a decent shot on me, he has to actually, you know, expose a decent amount of himself in order to shoot down on me. If he was much bigger, he'd have a greater profile. And of course, once I fire, I can easily duck down here, and there's no way he's going to be able to hit me. So yeah, once you apply pressure there, just push up. You may get shot by anyone that's over here defending from the flank. So this is very open to get shot across by anyone that's over there. So do keep that in mind. So you can push up over here, get rid of these tanks. Go there, fight, you know, take care of whatever's doing a last stand defense from over there. And then you got three options really you can do. You can cap the base, of course. You can push this direction to get rid of the snipers that are hiding back here, or take care of Artie, that's probably over here somewhere. Or you can take the other route and, you know, use this ridge and shoot whatever's over there. So yeah. Now we're going to do, again, very quickly, the southern flank. You have a slight, from the southern flank, the western side has a slight advantage when it comes to that. So I'm going to try and save as much time as I can here to do this. I'm going to go up this path. So, oh my goodness, I have spawned over here. I want to take the southern flank, so I'm going to take this route, and I want to hug this rock. This is not going to help you regardless, but you want to do that anyway to at least give yourself the best chance, because you are open to getting spotted by anything over there. You will most likely get spotted by anything that is up there on that middle point. So, yeah, pro tips, unless you are super sneaky, do not profile yourself. Do not sit here on this ridge, and do not, under any circumstances, sit here fully profiled to try and get some shots from anything that is trying to shoot your teammates still trying to crawl your way up, because you are going to immediately become the focus of RD, TDs, or anything that has line of sight on you. You will get shot. So yeah, if you are fast, if you've got the mobility, I wouldn't even sit there on that ridge trying to do anything. Just push up. Just keep pushing up. Once you make it up here, push up to this corner. This corner is the best place that you want to be from this, and you have the greater advantage of, you know, making it here before the other team does. And once you're here, for the most part, the enemy team's not going to try and contest you. They're not going to try and push up this point, because they have to cross this open duney field part. So yeah, if you are even faster, of course, or very little contention, push up even farther. And I mean push up as far as like here, because now you can roll up, shoot whatever decided to go over there, roll back down, repeat the process, roll up, shoot, back down. Of course, if you are not exposing yourself to anything that's over here, where like Zoran is, for example, you can do the same thing and also get some cross shots by, you know, of anyone that's up there on that hill. Or I might be looking the wrong way. Yeah, I believe that's the hill right there. So, yeah. So you have a greater chance of being very aggressive on the southern flank from the western spawn than you do from the eastern spawn. And so then once you win this flank, or you got enough pressure, you have three things. You can push right through the town there and try and fight whatever's still deadlocking in the trench. You can push behind these dunes and just go straight for the zero line. You may have a sniper that's right there on that dune, so do be careful, but chances are once they get spotted, anything up there in the middle will be able to take care of them. Just push straight for the zero line and come around here behind these rocks and take care of whatever's back here. There may be defense right there on that dune, so be wary of that. And of course, the third option that you can do, and I discourage this third option, is simply going this way. You are very much in the open here. You have to cross a lot of ground to get where you need to go, and you're exposed not only from here, you're exposed from there, and exposed from there. So yeah, this is a very like late game play to when there's like only 2 tanks left, and they're like over there. So yeah. But that does it for Sand River. Again, it's kind of a very easy map to play and understand where to go when you know what routes work best for what vehicle. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. Special thanks to Zoran for assisting me here and almost killing himself and causing this to end early. Of course, if you liked this video and you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.